We have a very big show for you tonight. We're back in the studio and Dana White is out, man. Trump said you're fired. We're going to get into all that. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, Dana White has lost total control of the UFC to Donald Trump. And I'm being a little bit playful, play on words because Donald Trump used to fire everybody on The Apprentice. But Trump took control. He said he wanted some people on the card. Dana White started matchmaking. And there's one other thing that Trump is taking control over. And the only way you would see this is if you were watching like random press interviews where Trump is talking to the media about other things. You would have noticed this, but I'm going to bring it to you so you don't got to go through all the entire Twitter sphere to find it out. So that is the big story of the night. My name is King David MMA. I am a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, a pro MMA champion, and I coach at Extreme Couture, the best gym on the planet. So we're going to get into all the big breaking stories today. We got the chat popping up. What's up? What up, bro? I see what's up, Dave. I'm like, what's up, bro? Arpon the Dawn in the chat as well, man. The big timers are showing up for the chat. So make sure your notifications are on, you're subscribed so you can hop on the chats with me when we go live, because it's random as fuck until I become a responsible fucking human being and get on a normal schedule. Another night, another dollar. Let's go. Yeah, so right now I'm doing what's called living the martial arts lifestyle, guys. It is train martial arts all day and then hop on lives late at night. Felony Charles Bennett, freaking MMA legend in the chat. Felony's here. Shout out to Felony. He just had a big fight at Bare-knuckle. I scored the fight. I was in his corner. I scored the fight 3-2 for Felony. Plus, I scored the first round 10-7 for Felony. Man, Felony dropped that guy twice in the first round. And that's not me saying that. That's the referee saying that. 2 knockdowns in the first round. So if you go to Felony's Instagram after this live, hop on to Felony's Instagram, Felony Charles Bennett 352. He's got a post going viral, and shout out to Felony. He collaborated with me on it, so I can see the view counts, and it's got, I think, like 60,000 views already, and he just barely posted it yesterday. And it is him and his opponent looks like he got hit by a truck, and Felony looks like he was not in a fight. So when it's funny because Felony's in the other room right now, but when he sends the video to people like, hey, go check this video out, it's me and my opponent, people congratulate him on the fight because it's so obvious who won the fight if you look at their faces. But anyways, we're also going to get into my new favorite fighter. People are saying that my new favorite fighter is the 2026 version of Conor McGregor. So that's a big update. People are taking off in the UFC. David, I just talked to the fight. They were hold up. Let me pull up the chat on the other screen, guys. Let me pull up the chat on the other screen, because me trying to read it off this little screen right here is not the way to do it. I'll tell you that. Let me switch over to this other account. I have a burner account that I watch the lives on. That way I can read the chat, because I don't want 2 chats going on the same thing. Okay, guys. So I just talked about the fight. They had 10-9, 10-9, 10-9, 10-7. The other guy, while only giving Felony 10-7 for the first. Go figure that. Dude, that is reckless. If that is accurate, bro, which I believe you, fucking A, that's reckless. Reckless. What could they have possibly given the other guy 10-7 for at any point? That's fucking, what the fuck, man? 47-44. Yeah, all 3 judges had it 47-44. I told Felony, I said, listen, Felony, man, you performed well. You trained your ass off. You came in better shape than you did last fight. And last fight, you were in fucking really good shape. This fight, you were in great shape. You put in the work. You performed. You hit some combinations that we were talking about you hitting. You landed shots. You dropped the guy twice. That's what you could focus on. We can't help that this dude had 3 of his cousins judging the fight. You know what I mean? Like, that's not out of our control. So we can only control our performance. And so that's what we focus on. And now, and we're going to get into that. We're going to get into the Felony update. Make sure you subscribe and hit notifications, like, comment, share this, man. We're trying to get the word out, guys. We go live every night. And then Felony, remember your good. Oh yeah, good John fight. They did the same shit to you on this one. Unfair, but great job. Yeah. So Felony's been on the bad side of a couple horrible fucking decisions. This decision, I'm gonna go rewatch it to double check, but they're live. I had a 3-2 Felony with the first round 10-7 Felony. And after the fight, if you looked at the two, one of them looks like he was in a car wreck, and the other one looks like he just got out of bed. So take that. I'm biased. Take that however you want to take it. Also, if you guys like me, if you like Felony and you want to see us doing some crazy shit, go over to Fight Circus on Instagram at Fight Circus. Make sure you follow Fight Circus for the freak show fights. What is this? What? I just have a Fight Circus shirt right here. That's crazy, man. Fight Circus, home of the freak show fights. They love Felony at Fight Circus. So this is Felony's custom shirt at Fight Circus. And send your coach to Studio Millions, guys. StudioMillions.com will pack your coach's gym full of students who stay, pay, and refer. Guys, we pay the bills around here. Not for, just for, I'm not just paying the bills for myself. I'm trying to pay your coach's bills. They will absolutely love you for it, and they will thank you for it. Send your coach to StudioMillions.com. If you're a real one, do that. That's the fucking main thing, guys. Any chance I do bare-knuckle? Dude, Felony keeps telling me I would do well in bare-knuckle. Felony keeps saying I would do well. I think bare-knuckle is absolutely sketchy as fuck. My other teammate, Maki, fought one shot to the eye. I believe, I haven't talked to him about this. I'm not sure if it was a knuckle or an eye poke or what it was, but I've had a broken orbital before, which is when there's too much pressure on your eyeball, there's a little bone. So people think a broken orbital is like this getting fractured, but it's actually like a little bone that pops and releases. And dude, your shit swells up instantly, and like your whole shit closes, and it's to relieve pressure from your eyeball. So if you get a bad finger poke, you get a broken orbital. If you get a knuckle in your eye socket, you can get a broken orbital. So it looks like, to me, I'm not a fucking medical doctor, but I am a professional expert in hand-to-hand combat, obviously. Uh, it looks like he's got a broken orbital, and that shit is sketchy, man. Any little thing can fucking fuck you off in that. Blades had broken his orbital too. I heard from this weekend. Felony's opponent probably had that as well. Yeah, Felony's opponent looked like he had that. That's for sure. He looked like he had a broken orbital because his whole side of his face was swelled up. Guys, you gotta go, if you're into fighting at all, you gotta go to the to Felony's Instagram and go watch that reel at some point. But yeah, let's get right into it, guys. Fucking A, man. The chat's already popping off. I appreciate you guys. It's so much more fun for me when the chat pops off. I'm drinking this 0-calorie caffeinated soda from Whole Foods. These are some of my favorite sodas out there. This 0 calories. I can drink these fucking things all day. 34 milligrams of caffeine each. You know, I already got, what was it? I kept it pretty light today, guys. I think I'm at 450. This would put me at 484 milligrams of caffeine. But this thing, I had it in the freezer. When I opened it, it started to foam up. So when I was getting the live ready for you guys, it's like all over this table. I got to wipe this table down. But I said, you know what? I attempted to wipe it down. I thought it was good. There's still some soda right here. But I was like, you know what, man? I told people I'm going live on Instagram. Let me hop on this YouTube and get this shit popping off. So the big story of the night: Donald Trump fires Dana White. You're fired. And I'm being playful about that because Dana is obviously still running the show, and Donald Trump is just making suggestions that are not suggestions. He's just saying, like, hey, man, why is Derek Lewis not on the card? So Dana put Derek Lewis on the card. And because I'm saying his name, but I'm not super familiar with his name, Josh Hokit performed so well and cut that promo after his fight that's the new big fight, which leads me into all kinds of speculation as to what's actually going to come next. Is there going to be a John Jones announcement? That's what I'm wondering. Are they going to announce John Jones for the UFC White House? What if Dana asks, what if Donald Trump asks Dana, why isn't John Jones fighting? Can you get him on the card? I think he should be on the card. You know, what's Dana gonna do? Dana's got to deliver for the president. You know what I mean? So hopefully we get a presidential recommendation to get John Jones on the freaking card. Then what's Jake Paul gonna say? Then what's Ronda Rousey gonna say? Then what's Nate Diaz gonna say? What are all these people gonna freaking say if we get John Jones on the White House card? Man, then John Jones is an American. He's gonna win. Derek Lewis versus Josh Hokit, two Americans. Now we're building an American card, guys. This is what we need around here. All right, the White House card looks like a stinker of a card, or the announcement they were hyping up. Yeah, so okay, I get what you're saying. So for the announcement, the way that they said that this is going to be the best card in human history, this is going to be the greatest, the biggest, the best card, and now it's like it's a great card, I guess, but it's not really super different from any other, like, you know, great pay-per-view card that they've done in the past, which they've done a lot of. So I totally get that. Yeah, they are they hyped us up so high. Like if our expectations would have been here and then they gave us this card, we'd be like, wow, can you believe it? They said it was going to be like, hey, don't get your hopes up, man. It might be 5 or 6 fights, guys. It's the White House. We're going to try and get people in there. I'm not saying we're going to get any big names. The White House itself is the event. Just don't get your hopes up. If we were down here and then they gave us the card they gave us, we'd be, oh my God, they over delivered. But they said it was going to be here, like off the camera here. They said it was going to be the biggest, best thing we've ever seen in our lives. And now it's a great card, but you know what I mean? We don't need a Spaniard beating up a freaking American in the main event. Personally, my opinion. You know, I'm also, I'm borderline gonna move out of the. I'm like, I'm debating whether or not, because I love the idea of America, guys. Like that you can be anything you want to be. I believe in abundance. I believe in the American dream. I believe you can start with nothing and turn yourself into something, right? And the more I'm noticing what's going on, not just like obviously, you know, we like peace around here, guys, but the and not to get political because I'm not a political person, right? I play around on the internet about politics sometimes. I've uh I've view maxed using political names in Instagram reels that have gotten me millions and millions of views. You know, I'm not saying I'm above that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna play the role in order to maximize the view count, you know. And I just feel like, man, the way things are going, like the government's got its fucking claws in. You know what I mean? And like, let's say New York, right? They're raising taxes. California's raising tax. California is a fucking beautiful, beautiful. I was just in Hawaii, right? I was in Hawaii, and Hawaii's top tier. San Diego, to me, I'm like, maybe I didn't see all of Hawaii, but San Diego, to me, man, San Diego had better weather. I'd like, I didn't go to every beach in Hawaii, but the beach that I did go to, I prefer the beaches in San Diego. And this is like comparing, like, you know, $100 bill to $100 bill. We're talking 10 out of 10, right? Both are awesome. But like the government in California is like ruining the fucking state, right? It's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. So I'm like, as much as I'm into the idea of the American dream, American values, all that, that's not the reality in America right now. You know what I mean? So I'm open minded, man. I might refi the house, collect a bag of cash, and bounce. No telling what I might do. You might see me and Felony Charles Bennett training in Thailand for his next fight. No, we might pop out, man. I might go on a world tour. No tell, I might go see what the actual best country is. Because this is the thing they tell you when you live in America, guys. America's the best country. America's this, that, the other thing. And I love the idea of America. But when you pop out to these other countries, They got a lot of things that are awesome about them. A lot of these countries are really freaking awesome. And so it's kind of like, man, um, in a lot of ways, you are trading the American, like the idea of what America could be, right? But what America actually is for like living somewhere and not necessarily living in America, if that makes any sense. So I might pop out, no telling what I might do. But yeah, so speaking of the White House card, Donald Trump has also said, and this is what I'm saying, you don't need to go scour X to get the details. I got the AI set up. They're sending me stuff. I got a whole system going on, guys. So I'm always on point. And then I get the inside scoop because I train at the best gym on the planet, Extreme Couture and UFC PI. So I'm around the best managers, the best, every like, and then I can verify some things that are rumors with the actual people. So Donald Trump was in an interview and they were saying that he might have Dana White. This they were like, "What do you think about calling it UFC 1776?" And Dana's like, "Oh, that's a good idea." So Donald said that's a good idea. So Donald Trump might hit Dana White up and be like, "Hey, you know how you do numbered events? This isn't the UFC you thought it was. This is UFC 1776." Which is I'm into it, but we need more Americans on the card and we need more Americans to win. That's kind of what I'm saying, right? It's like that's the point of it. Like if America's not going to be, you know, fighter planes with fucking colored smoke coming out and fireworks and you know boats just fucking swarming in Florida and everybody's having a great time and American values and American dream. Like if it's not going to be that, if it's going to be as good as he is, Ilya Taporia probably beating up Justin Gaethje. To me, that's not American, man. That's not what I'm signing up for, right? So, like, as disillusioned with the idea of the White House card as one might be, one could also be disillusioned with a lot of what's going on in the country. Fuck, man. And let me be fair. San Diego is still live-inable. Okay. Some of the other cities in California aren't, but San Diego is still like still dope. Okay. So let me get to the chat real quick before we pop into the next subject of the night. I wonder what fight. Okay, let me pop up. White House card looks like okay. I wonder what fight got canceled from that card when the matchmakers were pissed at the weigh-ins. I heard a rumor that that was Islam saying he can't fight, but I don't think that Islam could get a security clearance. Hot take. So I don't think that was the actual fight. I don't think that fight was what was going on. But if it were a fight, let's say Armin versus Ilya or Islam versus Ilya, and one of those guys dropped out, that would make sense why Justin Gaethje got a call like 2 days before the announcement, like, "Hey, do you want to fight at the White House?" And they just slotted him in there. So who knows? You know what? I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna start asking some questions, guys, because I have access to all these fucking people. I'm gonna get to the bottom of that. If there's a bottom to be gotten to, if anybody knows, we're gonna get the info. I'm gonna drop it on the live. So that's why it's important you subscribe. You guys know that. You guys are in the chat already. You already know. You already know. And then I'm in California right now, Glendale. Beautiful weather, but doesn't justify the prices at all. Dude, last time I was in Glendale, uh so the thing is about California, man, that like are you Armenian by the way? Last time I was in Glendale, it was cool, but it was like seeming like kind of going downhill. You know what I mean? Like LA-ish, Glendale-ish. A lot of that to me seems a little bit oh fuck, too so San Diego has a vibe, right? San Diego has a very like it's different than any city north of San Diego. And San Diego has like a very, very chill, normal vibe. There's a lot of like, I felt like an agenda the last time I was up around your parts. Pause. I didn't mean it like that. I meant, you know what I'm saying, guys? I'm talking about geographically before you guys go clip that and say I'm sus. When I graduated college, next semester, they always say, Japan. Yeah, so one of my buddies is in Japan right now. He's doing a month out there. And he's living it up. He sent me, him, and Felony in a group chat. And every day, this dude is sending us the fucking dopest food, the coolest fucking Japanese vibe spots, like the coolest artwork, the just you know, like obviously if you're into Japan, you already know what Japan's about. And so he's sending us the Japaneseiest of the Japanese stuff every day in the group chat. I'm like, fuck, man, I need to pop out to Japan. No, you're white, originally from Illinois. Okay, because there's a lot of Armenians in Glendale. Uh, didn't even know that Armenians was before moving out here. They're kind of rude people. Well, yo, man, that's the thing that everybody has a different culture, right? And so that's how they operate in that culture. And to somebody from a different culture, it can seem rude. So, for instance, my girlfriend is Chinese, and in China, they're very direct about like how much money do you make. Whereas in America, it's kind of like subtly forbidden to like ask somebody what they actually make. Whereas in China, to my understanding, it's very commonplace to be like, "Oh, I work at this. I make da da da. What do you make?" You know. And so somebody in America would say that's rude, but in that country, it's customary. So I find that shit fascinating. Let's get into the next subject as well, guys. We got an agenda, man. I got a little schedule right here about what to talk about. I got the chat over here. I got the new software. I'm back in the studio. I'm going to learn the fucking software. We're going to have shit popping up and we're going to have videos playing, you know, like an actual professional YouTube channel. But here's the thing. I just start things, right? So I start and I get ahead and I'm like, yo, I'm going to build consistency before I build perfection, right? And so every day I go a lot, and this is a life lesson. It's how I got a black belt pro MMA champion. I'm focused on consistency. So if it's at the gym, start with 3 days a week. Boom, consistent. Then start with 5 days a week. Boom. Then 6 days. Boom. Now multiple classes. Boom. Now I'm doing 2 classes a day. Boom. Okay. Now my body's acclimated to that. Now I'm going to start picking up the intensity. Bang, 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 bang. Now I'm going pro practice, then some kind of striking class, then amateur practice, or I'm going pro practice, then I'm going to pro grappling practice, which is a separate pro practice. So that's 2 in a day. Then I'm lifting weights and I'm building intensity on top of the consistency. But it doesn't make sense to start with intensity if you don't have consistency. So I'm doing the same thing on YouTube, which is building the consistency and then adding the improvements as we become more consistent. Right? It wouldn't make sense for me to spend hours and hours and hours and hours trying to make the perfect videos when I haven't built my audience up yet. But as I'm more consistent and the audience builds and new features are added and new technology is implemented into the system, like when I started, right, I didn't have the agenda on my left and I didn't have the chat on my right, but now I do. So anyway, that's we're getting off topic, guys. Well, let me hit the chat before I get to the next subject. I didn't know what is the best way to get the Fight Circus shirt you showed from earlier? I need a 2XL. Dude, DM me on Instagram and I will get you in contact with the Fight Circus shop link. They're building out a whole store right now, but I can get you probably a direct shirt. So hit me up, King David MMA on Instagram, and I will be on it because I handle business. That's what I do, guys. Okay. I don't play around. Actually, I do play around a lot, but like I play in a playful way. Like I like to keep youthful energy, like emanating from me. But like when it comes to shit like that, it's like I handle it, right? So I'm a handler, get it done type of personality. So people are calling my new favorite fighter, and I don't even know how to say his name, the Incredible Hulk, Josh Hokit, the 2026 Conor McGregor, because everybody was calling that dude cringe. Everybody was saying he was cringe. Everybody was like, oh, this is really bad. But he just beat the number 5 ranked heavyweight in the world. And all of a sudden, all that cringe shit got him to the UFC White House card. The most sought after card for any fighter to be on. He went from 0 to 100 real quick. Real fucking quick. Bars. But you know what I'm saying? So, dude, that dude is my new favorite fighter. And I'm gonna keep it real, guys. I know everybody says he's cringe. I like his delivery. Not because I think it's the most fucking energetic or like even the best written or anything like that. What I like is that he's like in his own lane. He doesn't try and be Connor, even though he kind of looks like Macho Man. He doesn't try and be Macho Man Randy Savage. He doesn't try and be my uncle Hulk Hogan. He doesn't try and come out there and like he's got his own delivery and his own cadence and his own lines. And so I fuck with that super hard. And I'm super happy that he got himself on the White House card. This is a huge, huge, huge opportunity for him. And when we were discussing in, I believe, not last night's live, but the live before that, the live before that, so maybe 3 lives ago, I was saying, and it's okay. I'm not trying to name drop. I'm not trying to stunt on everybody. But when I was at UFC Miami, not this one, previous one where George Masvidal fought and Israel Adesanya knocked out Pereira, which was fucking nuts. I was staying with a dear friend who happened to get us accommodations at a place called the Mandarin Oriental, which is like the highest of the high end place you could stay in Miami. He's a super baller. And I was hanging out in the lobby with my uncle G, Grant Cardone, who is a fucking billionaire. And Grant told me, well, Grant shouted me out to Dana White, and that reel's on my Instagram. So shout out to Grant Cardone for the love. You know, great minds think alike. He thinks I should be in the UFC. So do I. You know what I mean? He's a billionaire. He's not wrong. He's smart. He understands. When he sees talent, he recognizes it. And great minds think alike. You know what I mean? He's got excellent taste. What can I say? But Grant told me, he said, man, step 1, get attention. Do not go to step 2 unless you have completed step 1. Get attention. Nobody will flow you if nobody knows you. These are the words from a billionaire. Now, what could somebody do? One could ignore it. One could not implement it. One could just say, hey, man, that's cool, man, and go about their day. But what I did, I paid attention and I implement that into my life. Right. And so I've done crazy shit after fights to get attention because I have a microphone and an audience and I've gone super viral. And because of that, and even in this situation where I'm with Grant Cardone in the lobby of the Mandarin Oriental, I had to get attention. Right. I had to get attention. He's got people coming up to him, swarming him shit, right? Dude's a billionaire. Everybody wants something from the guy, right? I got attention. And then you know what I did? Then I got him on a reel with me. And then you know what I did? I posted the reel. And you know what happened? Dana sees the reel with me and Grant Cardone, right? And you get what I'm saying? I'm getting attention. And so that's what I like about the Incredible Hulk, Josh Hoke. How do you say his name? Hokit? Josh Hokit? Dude, I don't even know his name. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a fucking fan of his promos. And I'll be real, guys. I haven't even watched the whole fight. I saw parts of the fight. I was backstage, and Felony is really chill and easy to work with. So Felony's like doing his own thing, shadow boxing in the mirror, vibing out. He's got headphones in. So I gotta do something while I'm back there. So I'm watching the UFC fights on Paramount Plus. Now, for real though, I got the Paramount Plus on my phone and shit. Just because I was like, you know what? Let me support them. Let me support the UFC, guys. How am I gonna tell Dana White to sign me every time I run into Dana? Every time I see Dana, I'm like, Dana, sign me, bro. What are we doing here, dog? Do you hate money? Do you hate money? Bro, stop the bleeding. I am hospitalizing these local guys. They have families. Dana, please stop the bleeding. Put me in. I can fight people who are more prepared to defend themselves. And at least if I beat them up in the UFC, they're being compensated. Whereas I'm beating up these local regional dudes and they got to go to work on Monday, bro. I broke one guy's fucking arm. He was out from training for 6 months. He was walking around. He had to get like rehabilitation surgery or some shit on his arm. Like he had a whole process, and I don't even know if it was surgery or he had just some kind. He was fucked off. That guy had a job. Dana, what are we doing, bro? What are we like? Put me on the undercard of the undercard. I'll start at the bottom and work my way up, bro. All I need is a pair of gloves and a microphone. Let me do my thing, bro. So, anyways, if I didn't support the UFC by getting Paramount Plus, how am I going to ask them in good faith, in good confidence to support me? You get what I'm saying? So, anyways, that's my thought process on that. Also, caffeine is so good when it hits your lips, guys. Big felony update. Felony's doing fine. Felony is not injured. Felony's great. I mean, obviously, I'm sure he would have preferred to win, as we all would in any time that we are not the winner of the fight. But yeah, he's doing well. His opponent is probably fucked off right now, swollen face, probably looking worse than he does on the reel on Instagram. And maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, we're gonna watch the whole fight back and just go exchange for exchange through the whole thing because I like to be diligent and you know, Felony's already watched the fight back a couple times, and he's got some notes, and we're gonna go through it together. Stop the bleeding. That's what I'm saying, Felony, bro. Felony Charles Bennett in the chat, guys. The moderator extraordinaire. So Felony's actually who put me onto YouTube. So one day we were chilling at the crib, and he's like, "We should go live." Felony, the first live was that the fight companion we did, right? Where you said something to the effect of like DC looks like he cheats on his wife or some shit. Um, which was I still laugh about that in my head to this day, randomly. But yeah, so we were on a live stream and I was like, this is pretty cool, man. Because during the lockdown, I actually popped onto some app that was allowing me to live chat. I was just having fun talking shit to people, you know what I mean? And when I say talking shit, I'm just like playing around. I'm bringing people on the chat with me. I'm asking them questions. I'm trying to hook this chick up with this dude in the chat. I'm bringing the dude on. I'm like doing all this wild shit on the chat. And I hadn't done that since the lockdown. And then I did the live with Felony. And I was like, you know what? Let me start doing live. So I procrastinated for a few days because I wanted to get the whole setup set up, you know? And then I said, what did I do with everything else that I've been successful in life? I got started and I figured it out as I went. So that's what we did here. So Felony Charles Bennett, man, he put me onto YouTube. We're gonna watch the fight tonight or tomorrow, and you know, we're gonna figure it out, man. Because right now I thought he performed excellent, and I'm not sure what the judges were saw, but maybe when I watch it back tomorrow, I'll have a different opinion. And I don't think so. I was there in person. It was kind of wild, man. So I'm there with fucking Mickey Mace, the gambling influencer who's been kicked out of every casino in America, essentially. And it's just like this surreal moment. I'm like, dude, how did this all come about? Because I'm in fucking Hawaii cornering Felony Charles Bennett, who I watched when I was coming up in the game. We would have like watch parties because Felony's gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? Like we would watch prides at my buddy's Ryan's house. And or he had a friend who became a mutual friend of mine. His name was Luis, and we would watch they at one point they were roommates as well, and we would watch like prides, or we got the King of the Cage DVD set, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm yeah, 125 felony one for sure. 3 or 4 were the knockdowns for the opponent. Yeah. So I mean, aside from those couple knockdowns, and then there was one time, I forget which round it was, where like Felony got hit with something, but it didn't drop him. And then Felony also hit that dude with something and didn't drop him. So I'm like, okay, those are fairly, and I had it 1, 2, and 5 as well. I had number one 10-7 for Felony. But what am I? Who am I? I'm just a fucking expert. I'm just a professional MMA champion. You know what I mean? Who's been in the game for forever, trained with the best people on the planet, coach at the best gym in the world. You know what I'm saying? But I could be wrong. You know what I mean? Because 2 knockdowns would indicate a 10-7 round. You know what I'm saying? Uh, duh. But yeah. So we're out there. we're in Hawaii, you know, I'm cornering somebody who I used to watch, and then randomly we're hanging out with Mickey Mace and the Kurgo crew, and the CEO of Kurgo's is there, and he's super fucking cool. He took us out to lunch, got to know Felony. It was super wild sitting there because I'm like, this dude Mickey Mace can take down any fucking casino. It was kind of like the first time I met BJ Penn, and I'm sitting there, and I was a white belt at the time, and there were some fights in Tijuana, and the after party for the fights was at a Tijuana whorehouse. Okay, guys, and maybe I'll tell that story later. But I'm sitting there and I'm looking at BJ Penn. And I'm like sizing him up, like not like that because it's a whorehouse. I don't think. No, everybody's fully clothed, guys. We're just hanging out, right? This is just where the after party was. And so I'm like, what makes BJ Penn the best fighter in the world? Because at the time he was like the best fighter in the world. And I'm just looking at him like kind of like, like out of anybody in the world you see, that's the dude. Like what? Like I'm just trying to process. Like, is it his mindset? Does he just see fighting differently? What is he doing or seeing that nobody else is doing or seeing? Right. And so when I was with Mickey Mace, I was thinking the same thing. It's like if I go into a casino, right? How would I approach it if I were trying to get the casino for $1 million a month profit, Oh, wait, he was doing 1 million a week. At one point, he was getting the casino for 1 million a fucking week, right? And then I'm extrapolating like scenarios out in my head. Like, is that done based on some form of like memorization skill? Is that let's say a people skill where you make friends with people and then like I like what is he doing differently than the entire planet that goes to Vegas and loses? And so I was kind of tripping out on that, and the next thing I know, we're in the back, and then he's vlogging, and we're walking out, and we corner Felony, and then Felony drops this motherfucker. We thought it was 3 times because we're on the outside and sometimes it gets chaotic. So we saw the guy fall 3 times in the first round. I'm like, dang, dude, he dropped him 3 times. One of them was actually a rule to slip because Felony like kind of shoved the guy. And then, Mickey Mace is telling me, touch of death, bro. He's got the death touch in his hands. And I'm like, yeah, bro, he's fucking cracking this dude. And good on that dude. That dude stayed composed and stayed in the fight. But man, that guy was fucked up and brutalized. And it's just kind of crazy. It's like there's these 3 fucking dudes who are judges, and then they just determine how your career is viewed. Fighting's so fucking nuts, man. Fighting's fucking nuts. So then I'm there with Mickey Mace and the Kurgo crew, and it's like they don't, I'm sure they can like intellectually understand what's happening, but having never fought, dude, you don't know what the fuck that's like. You know what's going on, and the motherfucker you're fighting knows what's going on. And both of you are very aware of who's fucking winning, right? And then the judges say some other shit, and then the dude's relieved, and then it's like, you and him know what happened. Only you and him know. Now, the next layer out is like, the corner, right? Because the corner's typically fought before. So then we have like a secondary level of understanding, but not like a first person level. Well, I'm like, dude, that guy got cracked. You know what I'm saying? And so, but then there's other people that are just there in terms of like, oh, I love the sport. And the other guy's like, I own a gambling app and we sponsor the event. And you know what I mean? And so then the judges say something, and then these people may or may not understand that the judges have no fucking idea what they're even doing. They're like government officials who got jobs because they know somebody in government. They're not necessarily martial artists. It's so fucking crazy. And then you're in the back, and then, you have people who might not be super into the sport, like looking at people differently. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, But if the judges said a different thing, then you'd look at them differently. Like the same fight happened. And now, as a fan, you view this person differently because of three random people's opinions. Like, that's what it is. Like, we're not going based on their performance necessarily. We're not going based on the damage. We're not going based on the work that the person put in. We're going on three arbitrary people who have zero to not much martial arts experience and their arbitrary assessment. And now we're going to let that dictate how we view others. Like, it's fucking crazy. But as a fighter, you get fucking judged on that. You get judged by the general population based on three random government dudes' opinion of you, which may not even be of you because they're from the same city the dude you're fighting is from, and they might fucking know him. And now your entire career and the public and the matchmakers and the fighting organizations all view you one way or another based on three completely fucking random people saying some random fucking numbers based on a fucking arbitrary scoring system that's not even accurate. It's like the craziest thing ever. Anyways, guys, you got me off on a rant on the fucking scoring of the whole shit. Let me read the chat. How long have I been coaching at Extreme Couture? I believe I just surpassed my 1 year coaching there. So I was coaching in a non-official capacity when my ex-girlfriend was still competing. She fought in the PFL. And so despite the fact that we were absolutely not compatible dating wise, we had a very working martial arts coaching structure where I was able to get a lot of good performance out of her based on her abilities. And when she was locked in and uh, still with her heart in martial arts, we were able to get her from like an amateur blue belt to the PFL like undefeated. You know, with uh I helped her win two amateur belts, what something like that. One amateur belt and got her uh her she was beating people who they were like bringing her in to lose. But yeah, so I was coaching her specifically and a couple other people like who I was working with personally, but I wasn't on the official coaching staff until about a year ago. And now I'm on the official coaching staff. And it's pretty dope, man. You know, it's pretty nice. And it's like a real big honor to be in the group of people who have coached there. Like there's some real legendary coaches at Extreme Couture and that have come out of Extreme Couture and have coached before at Extreme Couture. So it's like that's what I'm saying, man. Sometimes I trip out on this. Like I'm some dude whose uncle was a pro wrestler. And I was like, I kind of want to be in my own lane. Let me go try this jujitsu MMA stuff on a whim because I had seen UFC and with my boy Ryan that I was watching the prides and stuff at the watch parties with, we went to a Mr. Olympia Expo where they give out supplements. And we ran into his friend, Hosea Kim, who was doing that cage fighting stuff. And Hosea had frosted tips. And I was like, there's nobody on the planet with frosted tips that could beat me up. That's how I viewed it. And I was like, oh, you fight? He's like, yeah, he had a couple amateur fights or whatever. And then I popped over to train with him and Ryan one time at the gym they were training at in Vegas at the time. And Hosea choked me out. And I like couldn't live with the fact that a dude with frosted bleach bangs was able to choke me. And I went from that to training my ass off, becoming a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, winning 9 professional MMA fights, all by submission, winning a professional MMA title, coaching someone that I used to watch on TV, or cornering somebody that I used to watch on TV in a fucking major event, and being there with like the number one fucking gambler in the world and the owner of the app, and now we're flying to different cities, and it's like this whole fucking surreal thing. And I'm on the coaching staff at Extreme Couture, which was voted best gym in the world multiple years by the MMA community. And it's like, how did I go from that to this? And it's pretty fucking crazy, man. And so I was out there, I was literally in the water at the beach in Hawaii, and I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, dude, martial arts will take you around the world if you let it. It's really amazing. Like if you stay positive and you stay open-minded and you just if you really love martial arts, man, it's like the possibilities are endless. So I'm glad I went to that Mr. Olympia Expo, and I was egotistical and arrogant and was like nobody with bleach tips could beat me up. And then maybe if I would have beat him up at that training session, I wouldn't have gone on. So like in a way, I'm like, I don't want anyone to tap me ever, but I'm glad that I got tapped in a way, right? Because that led me to going, this can't stand. I cannot accept the fact that this man can strangle me. And then that motivated me to train. And next thing you know, fast forward, zoom, time machine, boom, I'm in the water, my toes in the sand, the beaches of Hawaii, cornering bare-knuckle for my MMA legend friend who fucking lives with me right now. And like with the fucking gambling influencer of gambling influencers who's beat the casinos so bad he's kicked out and banned every fucking where. And honestly, I think it's like fucking really cool that somebody's able to beat the casinos. And I'm sure there's more to it than meets the eye. It's kind of like a magician, right? Like on one hand, there's the magic trick. And then there's like, you're curious how the magic trick works, but you also don't want to ruin the magic trick, right? So part of me likes hearing that he beat the casinos, but I also kind of like don't want to know how he beat the casinos and what. Like I'm curious, like I want to know, but I'm like I also prefer not to know. Sort of like a magician. Like if you know the trick, then it kind of ruins the trick in a way. Like I'd rather just be like in my own lane doing martial arts. He's in his lane, and I'm not like too. Hey, tell me how this happened. Tell me like you get what I'm saying, because then if you hear how it happened, then it's kind of like, oh, okay, well, I like to believe it's like some fucking magical thing out there, and oh my gosh, Anyways, so that's where I'm at with it. Sometimes it's better to not know, right? Sometimes you can know too much. Oh wait, I'm capping, guys. This is actually my second one. So I was on 450, 484, 514, 518, something like that. Something in that area, in the 500 level of caffeine today. So it's a light day. We only got halfway to the recommended allotment. And by recommended allotment, I don't mean by medical professionals never drink caffeine, guys. I'm just saying by the people who I know that are like the fucking most epic ballers there are, like the craziest, baddest motherfuckers. I've noticed this in common are highly caffeinated, guys. Uh, one of the top fitness influencers, Brandon Carter, King Keto on Instagram. He and I followed each other over caffeine because we're both highly we like that's how we started fucking with each other. You know what I mean? Because he had posted some reel that showed up in my feed, and it was like he was saying he drinks 1,000 milligrams of caffeine a day, and I'm like, yeah, bro, facts. I won a pro MMA title being highly over caffeinated, and then we like, we're not boys. Like I don't kick it with the dude. I'm just saying, like Andrew Tate is the most Googled man on the planet for like 2 years, probably close to a billionaire, if not already a billionaire. Caffeinated. probably about 1,000 milligrams a day. His brother Tristan, also very, very, very successful, highly caffeinated. Guys, if you look at success, success leaves clues. And these things are fucking delicious, guys. So I highly recommend these. They don't pay me for these either. But these ones are super dope. These ones taste to me like actual soda, right? Like a cola, which is nice because then I don't eat and I drink these and there's 0 calories and I'm caffeinated and I'm vibing and I'm fucking burning fucking body fat. So I'm gonna make weight for my next fight. Oh, that's the other thing, guys. That's the other thing. Felony's opponent missed weight. So this is 2 opponents in a row where the dudes pull up at an agreed upon weight and then don't make the weight. And then there's like no fucking repercussions. You get what I'm saying? It's like it's a wild sport. So this dude can miss weight. He can go and get a decision, and then we're gonna act like this dude's the winner, and we're gonna act like Felony's the loser, and we're all gonna change our fucking matchmaking based on this because of some arbitrary judges, even though this dude missed the fucking weight. You get what it's fucking nuts, man. So I've pulled up to a weigh-in. And sometimes you get to these facilities like the hotel or whatever, and they don't have what you need. So let's say you like to cut in a bathtub and you pull up and this hotel doesn't have a bathtub. You're on an Indian reservation and there's no other fucking hotel for miles and they don't have a sauna. And you're like, oh, fuck, I got to go cut with, whatever I got, trash bags or something. And so I've gone downstairs and stepped on a scale at the time of the weigh-in and been a pound over. And I went and I wrapped my happy ass up in fucking trash bags and I went for a run in the cold in December in North Dakota. You know what I'm saying? Like I went out, or maybe it was February. It was fucking cold, and I was running, and I had to run so hard to get myself to sweat because I have trash bags on, and I had to cut another pound, and then I come back and I fucking make the weight. We're different people. You get what I'm saying? We're different people. So, anyways, that guy missed weight. There's no fucking repercussion. It's the fucking wild, wild west, guys. And when people are saying that like MMA is going to be the biggest sport on the planet, I agree. But right now, even though it's professional MMA, there's a lot of stuff that's like when you're behind the scenes, dude, it's like a fucking cowboy show out here, guys. So anyways, I appreciate everybody that subscribed. I appreciate everybody that comments. I went through, here's what I did today. This is how I operate. Because the channel is still growing. It's not 100 million subscribers yet, guys. I know I'm charismatic, charming, have a God-given jawline. Okay, but we're at like 170 subscribers, right? Which is dope because you guys were here first. And while I can, I respond to every comment. So I went in the comments today and I responded to every comment that's unanswered, unless there's like a long thread of comments where I've already responded like 5 times. And now it's just 2 other guys talking to each other or 5 other guys talking to each other. Sometimes in those, I'll just go like something or whatever. But outside of that, every comment that was unresponded to, I responded to because that's how I fucking do it. So if you guys drop a comment, if you're watching this at a later date, because you didn't get in on the live stream, which we're doing right now. I guess when you're watching, it won't be right now. But anyways, so I appreciate everybody in the chat. It's so much more fucking fun for me when you guys chat. I love it. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for having notifications on because I'm going live randomly still. At some point in the future, I'll get a set time, or maybe I won't. Because honestly, man, maybe let me not say that because I like to do exactly what I say I'm going to do. It's part of this. Like I told you guys, I have a dime piece fucking beauty pageant winning, world pageant winner girlfriend who's a genius, and she's like got a 4.0 at Berkeley or whatever. What? Like, who's keeping track? But she says in China they have a saying. It's called "words and actions are one," and I like to live my life by that because I like to be able to trust myself. So when I do things, I want people to be able to trust me. So I tend to only say things that I'm actually going to do. And if I catch myself saying something that I may not actually do, then I will not say it. So let me not say that I'm going to go live on a schedule because I'm not ready to say that yet. So If you got notifications on, then shout out to you. You're a real one. And if you see this at a later date, then drop a comment because while the channel's still manageable, I'm going in the comments, I'm reading every comment, and I'm fucking commenting back because I want this to be a conversation. I want to connect with people. I want to hear what people are saying. I like to keep my ear to the streets. So when I'm at Extreme Couture, I get all the top level pros and managers and coaches opinions on things. And then when I'm in the comments, I get the people that are out there in the real world, the fans, the people watching the events, the people that love MMA. And it just lets me get a very, very fleshed out real world view of everything that's happening. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate you. And yeah, man, if you tell people about the channel, then you're a real motherfucker. All right. So anyways, guys, we're gonna hop on a live tomorrow. And hopefully there's some crazy ass MMA. Dude, I really don't want to talk about the Nick Diaz stuff because I've met Nick Diaz recently and he's got some crazy shit going on. So I gotta decide if I want to discuss that because I have some. I've just met all the people involved. Well, not all of them. I met three out of, let's say there's four people involved. I met three of them. Anyways, fuck, dude. Nick's so fucking cool when I met him. He was just super chill guy. But anyways, guys, maybe if it's a slow news day, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Maybe I'll give you guys a little bit of overview as to what I saw when I was in person with these people who are allegedly involved in all kinds of crazy shit. Um, but yeah, if not, then hopefully there's a big news day tomorrow. We can get into some topics. Maybe we'll get into some crazy ass influencer stuff tomorrow. And I still got to start live streaming IRL. This is obviously live, but I'm talking about IRL streaming too. I got a lot of goals for this channel, guys. Anyways.